Land scam in Lagos, Abuja, Ogun, and Port Harcourt is becoming extremely alarming. Property buyers are wary of fraudsters parading themselves to be landowners, but in reality, the land they claim to own belongs to someone else. Property buyers are so confused as to the type of property they intend to purchase because the system is so rotten. Coupled with the problems that accompany living in a rented apartment, property buyers are so desperate to owning a property, not minding the cost, the location, the title, and the problems that might arise with documentation of such properties. All these issues have made property scammers, land fraudsters very bold and even defraud people the more. It now begs the question as to what property is safe to buy, an Omonile land or an estate company land. Both of them come with their advantages and their problems, but today I will try as much as possible to the best of my knowledge to explain and to give the pros and cons of buying properties from either of these options. So we'll be going deep into our discussion today, and we will be discussing the pros and cons of buying land from either Omonile or from real estate companies. I will do this to the best of my knowledge, and I will start with Omonile. So we'll be looking at the advantages and disadvantages of buying land from Omonile. So we'll start with the advantages first. First and foremost, when you buy from Omonile, you deal directly with the seller. You have close contact, one-on-one contact with the seller. Number two, you have the opportunity to choose the land size and also the position of the land which you want to buy. So because you'll be in close contact with them, you would see what you want to buy, you will choose the location, you will also determine the size of land you will be buying. Number three, you also are going to have direct contact, direct access to the land document. That is, if it exists, you would have direct contact with the land document. Number four, you also would be able to complete your transaction in a day. Very, very possible. You can start your transaction today and also complete it that very day. Lastly, you would also be able to build almost immediately on your land after transaction has been completed. So these are the major reasons why people prefer to buy land from Omonile. Now, what are the problems associated with buying land from Omonile? Please listen and listen carefully. Number one, buying land from Omonile simply means that you are treading on a very thin line. If you cannot ascertain the real owner of the property you'd want to buy, it simply means that you might just end up losing your money when you go into such transaction. If you cannot ascertain who the real owner of the land is, you might just end up being duped. Number two is, when you're buying land from Omonile, you're either buying directly from the family or buying from someone who bought from the family. Either ways, you must create a relationship with the seller until you have developed your property. So until you build your house on that land, you must be in close contact with the seller of that land. If not, you might just end up losing your property. Number three is that buying land from Omonile is prone to so many issues. Family issues and also issues with the government. You might end up buying a land from a family where everyone in the family is not aware the land is about to be sold. So when you buy from a section or a carcass in the family, you will end up also settling and paying off the other carcass when they come back to drag land with you. Also, you might also be buying into a committed property. Most Omonile guys do not know that some of the property they claim to own belongs to the government. Government, in its wisdom, probably might have excised a portion of the land to the family, but the Omonile might not know that government has excised this land, and also this particular one belongs to the government. They will end up with selling anyone to you. So it comes with so many problems: family problems, land disputes, problems with the government. So you must be very, very careful. Also, when you buy land from Omonile, you don't stop paying once. You pay until you have finished developing your property. When you pay for the land charge, they will still come back when they see you they will still come back when they feel you are about developing the property. When they see you bringing sand into the land, when they see you bringing stones and iron rods, cement, blocks, they keep charging you as you develop that property. So it does not just end with paying the original amount of the land. They will keep disturbing, and when you decide not to pay them, they will destroy your materials. So it comes with this particular problem. Lastly, when you buy from Omonile, there is nothing like installment payment. There is no pay small. There is nothing like payment plan. They prefer you pay them once and for all. So it does not come that easy. You are not always given the option of installment payment. So these are the major problems that you see when you buy properties from Omonile. So you can decide to weigh the advantages as against the disadvantages and decide if you would want to buy land from Omonile. Now, we'll be shifting our attention to the other, that is buying land from real estate company or from developers. This is where I have my interest. So now I'll be taking my time to explain salient points, thereby giving you the advantages and also the disadvantages of buying from developers. Number one is that they have both physical and legal presence. They are registered, so you can visit their company, you can visit their headquarters, you can sue them in court, they can also sue you. They have legal presence and also physical presence. Number two is that the properties sold by real estate companies are most times enclosed and secured. It simply means that they are going to secure the perimeters or the borders of the estate. The third advantage of buying from real estate firm is that most of these properties come with proposed amenities like pipe-borne water, like tarred road, drainages, electricity, and so on. They will always provide these amenities, but this comes with some funds. You will pay that in your development levy. So it is not left to you to develop, it is the duty of the estate company to develop the estate for you. Also, most of the estates sold by companies come with layout. So before development even sets in, they have provision for schools, provision for hospitals, provision for malls and recreational center in those estates. So you don't just buy into anywhere. They come with a layout that shows if the estate will have all these developments within the estate. Another advantage is that you don't deal with Omonile whatsoever. You don't deal with any Omonile when you buy with real estate companies. So all these Omonile wala problems here and there, they are non-existent when you buy properties from real estate companies. Lastly, they provide you with installment payment plan. So you could decide to pay small, you could decide to pay in 3 weeks, you could decide to pay in 3 months, you could decide to pay in 12 months. They always have provision for installment. So all these are the advantages of buying from real estate firm. Now is the time I'll be spilling the problems of buying properties from real estate firm, and I'll be very careful not to mention the names of any firm. Now, number one is that most of these companies are not registered. And when you deal with an unregistered firm, simply means you might just be throwing your money into thin air. Now, another problem with real estate firm is that they easily sway people with promo prices and also very affordable payment plan options. You can hear them say pay 10,000 naira every month for 5 years to secure a plot. They can come up with ridiculous payment plan just to sway people into buying their properties. Now, most times this comes like a Ponzi scheme. This is what people do not know. You will see a company that tells you come and buy a land, you will pay for 60 months, you will pay for 5 years, you will pay 10,000 naira for 5 years. Some will even go as far as telling you you will pay every day. Now, it is not as if some are not real with this. Most of them are always problematic. What we find out is that at the end of that 5 years, you would have paid more than what is expected, and some companies might have even folded up before that 5 years. So they sway you easily with very cheap payment plan and also promo prices. Number 3 is that what they promise you from inception most times is not what they give to you. I can beat my chest and say I have had this experience with some clients. The company will tell you they will do this. At the end of the day, nothing. So you must be very careful. You must also know this. They will give you promises. They will promise you heaven and earth. At the end of the day, when they get to your money, story and stories. Now, another serious problem buying land from estate company is what we call allocation problem. You pay your complete amount and they find it very difficult to allocate properties, to allocate your land to you. So many reasons might have caused this. Some companies will sell out a property and still continue collecting money from people. People will not know that this property is sold out. They will continue to collect money to develop other projects. And when it is time for you to get your allocation, there is no land to allocate to you. What do you call this? We call this what? Real estate scam. So you must also know this, that if you are buying from real estate firm, if you don't get your allocation in time, you might just end up having problems in getting allocated. Just recently, I had a friend who bought a property from a very reputable company in Lagos, Nigeria. They bought this property in 2017. They got allocated just last week. So someone who had the intention of developing, and the property is even a gazette land. So someone who had the intention of developing a property since 2017, it is now last week they allocated the property for them to start development. So all these are problems associated with buying lands from real estate firm. They might not just get your allocation done very swiftly. Another problem is that most of these companies take loans to develop a property, to develop an estate, and they always have this timeline, like they feel when they get a loan and they feel in the next 2 years we will sell out this property. What if they don't sell out the property in 2 years? What happens? Then their creditors will start disturbing, then the company starts facing problems. So you need to be very careful to know the kind of real estate firm you will be putting your money into. Now, another problem of buying land from estate company is that they give their clients, they give those who subscribe to their properties unreasonable contract of sale to sign. If you go through some contract of sales, you will know that you are signing hell, you are signing problems. Most of you do not take time to read the clauses in this contract of sale. The clauses there are most times against the buyers of these properties. the companies are always at advantage when you see this contract of sale. So you also must be very, very careful. You must go through their contract of sale before you append your signature, before you buy such properties. Most of them will, at the end of the day, give you clauses that will disturb you. So you must take time with your lawyer to go through this contract of sale given to you by the real estate company. Another problem of buying land from estate company is that they sell the properties with fake and fraudulent land titles. I did a video last week about excision and excision in progress or thereabout. You can go through my videos and you see what we discussed about that. Most of these companies sell properties with fake titles. They will tell you this land has an excision, but when you do your search, you find out that there's nothing like that. They are still begging the government to excise the land. Excision in progress. They will tell you that the land is free, but the land is committed. They will tell you the land has gazette, but all these are problems. These are serious problems we face when you buy land from estate company. Some of them can be so fraudulent. In fact, the so-called popular and reputable ones also do this. You have to be very careful. You have to know all this before you buy properties. You have to know all this before you buy properties from real estate firm. Some of them can just be so fraudulent to sell fake titles to you. Some of them will even go as far as perfecting the title on, let's say, 1 acre out of 20 acres. They perfect just 1 acre. Then they will go further in selling the 20 acres with the title of the 1 acre that has been perfected, and buyers will not know about this until you do your search. Even if you are not very careful, they will give you the coordinate of just the 1 acre they perfected, and you will think, wow. So at the end of the day, you might be buying into a land that does not have a title. So you have to be very, very wary of some estate company. Another problem is that real estate firms distort the plans they have for an estate. At the beginning, they tell you this is what we're going to do here, this is where this will be, this is where commercial will be. At the end of the day, they will turn the plan upside down. Or at that point, you can do nothing except you want to collect your money back. There's a very popular real estate company in Lagos here on the highland. People paid for something in a particular place. At the end of the day, they took them away from that place to a different location entirely, not in the same neighborhood. So they can distort your plans and leave you at their mercy. So you must be very, very careful and wary of such real estate firm. Another problem with real estate firm is that they only charge you development levy, and at the end of the day, they will not develop the estate. Or even when they will develop it when they are ready to develop it. So the best they do is to just build a very beautiful estate gate and stop there. So all the amenities they promise to put into that estate, they do not do anything. They will collect your development levy and just leave you. So you have to be very careful about the estate firms you will be buying properties from, as some of them are very dubious and they just leave you at their mercy. So with this, we have successfully, to the best of my knowledge, given the pros and cons of either buying from estate companies or from families. So it is left to you to determine which suits you better. I am Realtor Patrick for Real Pat Properties, and I hope you have gotten something new today. You've learned something new, and if this is your first time coming across this channel, please do well to like and subscribe to this channel, as we will always drop tips and also discuss issues that will be beneficial to you when you want to invest in real estate. I remain Patrick for Real Pat Properties. Keep investing in real estate until we see in our next video. Stay safe.